to my YouTube channel. This is Adele's World. Please like, share and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining in tonight. Yeah, it's Friday night. I've been meaning to record since Monday, but I've been so busy. It's summer, trying to get the child out and about and just enjoy the sun before it goes, before the winter starts actually. So I had a poll last week on my Instagram page, and those who do not follow me, please follow me on Just Call Me Adele. You'll find me on Instagram on Just Call Me Adele. And we had a poll last week regarding what topics to talk about. A few topics came up, quite interesting ones actually, but I chose one specifically that is close to my heart. Not really close to my heart, but rather something I've experienced myself. So I wanted to relate it to something that I'm well aware of, and I have an experience in that. However, it's not like all the other topics were irrelevant. Thank you so much for the effort and the responses that I received, but we're going to have to talk about it some other time. However, this one specifically I'm going to talk about today is postnatal depression. I think postnatal depression is quite a tricky one. Not a tricky one, but it's something really, like, from where I grew up. It was not really something talked about, or you weren't really made aware what it is all about. They just used to call it, sorry guys, I'm making of coffee, but I'm burping for some reason. I think it's my nerves, but yeah, forgive me. So we're talking about, like I was saying before, it's something that was not really, that we never talked about. They had a name for it. It was called Ombundu. Yeah, Ombundu. Undumbo. One of the two. Anyway. My hetero friends on here will know what I'm talking about, but they just said, oh, the person just got sick after having a baby, and that was it. It was never really a big discussion as to what happens to the woman when she goes through postnatal depression. I wasn't, it's not like I didn't know about it. I did. Like after I'd grown up, become an adult and read about it or heard about it, whatever, but it was not until it happened to me that I now understood the depth of it and how it really, really affects a woman and the child. So my postnatal depression started, I think, just probably maybe 2 weeks after I gave birth. Yeah, I think my son was 2 weeks old. But at the time, I think what caused it mostly was like the environment where I was. I was here in England, and I didn't really have a support system, and I also didn't have the father of my child there with me for any support, any form of support at all. So it's basically, I was on my own, and I had just given birth to this brand new baby, and I'm thinking what to do, how to go about. I kept ringing my mom on a daily basis. Sometimes I didn't even, if I don't ring her, then it was just sort of, she got worried, but there was really not a lot she could do from far away. She lives in Namibia, and I'm all alone here. And I think after my 4-week check with the midwives and the health visitors, that was basically it. Like, I was on my own. It's not like you are isolated or there's no help, but before you get the help, you have to realize that, okay, something is wrong, which I I wasn't really sure what was wrong, because I just thought, okay, I'm going through a lot, and because we're raised with this mentality of you've got to be strong, you can do this, you're a strong woman and all of that. But depression doesn't, it's not something to do with strength, and it's not something that strength can cure, or like who you are in your daily life. You can be the most amazing person, bubbly, happy person, whatever. That doesn't really mean that you can fight it by saying I am strong. You actually need to get help. And in the Black community, that is something I'm not going to generalize too much. Let me say, for instance, me, I was raised where you keep it together. Come on, you can do this, without dealing with the emotional stuff, because emotions were something irrelevant. Even from when you're a child, you are told, oh, you shouldn't cry, you're big, or you shouldn't express your feelings, you're being disrespectful. So it is something you're taught from a very young age, that you need to internalize everything, every emotion, and make it a personal thing and not a public thing. Therefore, okay, I don't want to go off topic, so we'll talk about that some other day. Anyway, as I was saying, I was really depressed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was going through the most. That would be a great story for another day, because you guys have to hear it. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe it. But yeah, so I was depressed, I was sad, I was lonely, I was isolated, I didn't have help, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I had one or two friends, but then the other thing of being out here on your own is you don't know who to trust. You can talk to a friend, but then the next thing is, like I did, I spoke to somebody that I trusted, and I thought, yeah, I felt a load off my shoulders, and it was like, oh yeah, this was really helpful, thank you so much. The next thing, I became the talk of the town. Oh, she's crazy, and she's just bitter and sad, and it was not, I didn't receive any empathy. It was more a thing of, I got mocked instead of being helped, or anybody saying, do you know what, maybe we need to really check up on her and make sure she's okay. But it became a discussion, something people would talk about and have a laugh about on their Friday night drinks as friends or whatever. So that is what I experienced. So therefore, I actually had to really fight to come out of my depression, because the only thing that kept me going was my son. I had to constantly wake up and say to myself, at least if you're not taking care of yourself, you gotta take care of him. There were days where I would just literally have a shower and make sure he's had a shower, and he was having formula after a week of being born, because I was depressed. I had no milk, I wasn't producing any milk because of the stress, and just I was going through the most, honestly. And I remember I would make sure he's fed, and I wouldn't eat anything all day. And I think to myself, or my mother would ring and be like, did you eat something? And only then you realize, oh my God, I haven't eaten all day. What have I been doing? And I spend a lot of time in bed. I spend a lot of time on my own. I spend a lot of time in the house completely blacked out curtains and just, you know, no like light. I didn't want that. I spent a lot of time with my child, and whenever he slept, I was supposed to be sleeping, but I couldn't, because my mind would constantly race and race and race and race. It was just depression is a hard thing. Honestly, I feel for black women. Sorry to isolate my other subscribers, but I feel for black women, because really we don't know how to ask for help, and sometimes we feel you don't want to burden anybody, or you feel you don't want to really focus on that, and some people use drugs, alcohol to like avoid dealing with the depression or avoid feeling depressed. It doesn't really work, I think. Yeah, because most people that do get depressed, they end up either committing suicide. And I mean, if you've survived depression before, honestly, I commend you. I'm happy for you, and just keep pushing, keep going forward, keep talking about it, keep, you know, ensuring you're okay emotionally. This is really important, especially new moms. I am completely there with you. And I had a friend, actually, she went through postnatal depression, but she lived with her husband. However, she used to tell me that no, the husband didn't understand, or he couldn't get why she was just sad, or she didn't want to take the baby or hold the baby. And you know, sometimes you feel ashamed of being depressed, but it's not something shameful, because to be honest, it's something that a lot of women go through. You're not alone. And when I went through mine, I felt alone, honestly, completely alone, and just isolated. I don't even know how I forged through, but I think it had to do with my son. He really just helped me instead of me helping him. And you know, I owe him a lot, like a lot. I'm really grateful for, because he would make you laugh, and he just brought like happiness back into my life at the time. And I think a lot of women really face depression, even those that don't just have children, or like they don't just get it after having a baby, but just on daily life, because women have to really go through the most on a daily. They have to be mothers, they have to work hard, they have to stay fit, they have to stay beautiful, they have to, you know, get educated. So many things, so many hurdles that we have to face to be either the perfect woman, or be seen as, oh, she's a great woman, without having, you know, like, I think men have an upper hand when it comes to a lot of things in life. But I don't want to, oh my gosh, I've just gone off the rail with that. Oh, I'm back. I nearly went off the rails and talked about something else. Like I was saying about postnatal depression, I went through the most, honestly, and it's something really important that people need to talk about. They need to stop shaming women into silence, and also don't be afraid to speak about it and say how you feel, or what you're going through, because there's people out there that are more afraid to talk about it than you think. A lot of women go through it, and we tend to hide or try to put up a brave front. That doesn't help, because when you in your space, and when you're alone, you are completely alone with your thoughts. And I don't want this video to go on too long. Therefore, if you guys want me to continue to talk about postnatal depression or just depression in general, hit me in the DMs and let's talk about it some more. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in my next upload, and please continue with the beautiful messages in the comments, and just keep telling me what more you want me to talk about, and I'll be sure to attend to all the questions that I received and all the suggestions I received as well. Have a lovely Friday, have a lovely weekend. I'll see you in my next upload. Bye.